Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another Black Powder update. Today I have the last four figures that complete the division, and they are all command figures. First up we have this chap here. Now this is Col Olferman, and he basically before June the 16th was second in command of the Brunswick Division, basically what happened was that the Duke of Brunswick himself was actually shot and killed during Quatre-Bras on June the 16th, 1815, and Olferman took command of the division. In fact, actually he was separated from the Duke. It's said that his last words were asking where Olferman was, or where he was. However, unfortunately for Olferman, on the actual Battle of Waterloo, he was shot and wounded, and had to give up command to a Colonel Herzberg, who took over command of the Brunswick Division. And now going on a little further and past the Battle of Waterloo, he retook command of the division in August of 1815, and in November of 1815 he was actually fully promoted to Major General. So that is Olferman. Now we'll just give you a quick closer look at him. Now figure wise, this chap is a Lieb Colonel from the Mounted Colonels pack. By Parry's, of course, and even though I scoured the internet, I was unable to find any pictures or portraits of what Colonel Olferman actually looked like. You can find sort of Wikipedia and stuff about his life, and he does actually have a monument dedicated to him, but no pictures of himself. Which is a little bit odd, but I suppose it's understandable. You can see that I put him on a white horse, and more or less he's basically in the sort of the basic colours of a high-ranking Lieb officer, basically. I've given him the black collar, stripes around his collar that strangely enough sort of the higher rank seem to adopt, but like I say, it's actually really quite difficult to try and tell the ranks apart in the actual Brunswick division. They're all more or less look the same. But yeah, that's Colonel Olferman, and yeah, I think he came out pretty cool. Base was built up using Das clay. I think it did a really good job. I actually decided to give them a grassy base. Both Olferman and the Duke, as a sort of a direct contrast to most of the troops being on a sort of a barren fields. I think it looks really nice. I don't get grass out very often, but every now and then, it's kind of like my own blend. It's got I'm trying to think of the make of it. I think it could be Gale Force 9 grass, summer grass perhaps, mixed in with some static grasses from various companies. But it does look, it certainly looks as if it's got some body to it, which is exactly the sort of look I was looking for. And I think overall the base has come out pretty attractive. And I used some of my Tajima tufts and bushes, and some of these, I think these are something scenics that I got off eBay. I do actually really like these sort of shrubberies, yeah, that's Colonel Olferman. So put him off to the side. Next up we'll go for the Duke space. So here we go, and this is the first time we've actually premiered one of these 100mm bases that I kind of decided upon putting my sort of real top tier chaps on. I think eventually, when I get round to rebasing Van Damme, I'll probably put him on one of these bases. but it's only really going to be used for like major personalities. Yeah, the Duke of Brunswick is the first. So let's go in a little bit closer on this chap. So basically the pack is as Perry's, and the Duke is here holding his pipe, and this is kind of based on on the plate from, or at least his style is based on the plate from the Osprey book. It's not actually 100% known exactly what the Duke looked like on that day during Quatre Bras when he was killed. His jacket does actually still exist, or at least one. It's at least accredited to him. It's still not 100% known if he actually did wear that. And I've actually just out of the blue here, just going to bring in the Osprey book here. So this is the picture of the jacket. Let me just zoom out a little bit. This is the picture of the jacket that he supposedly it's definitely attributed to him. Whether he actually wore it during Waterloo, I don't know. But that is in a museum. And just on the opposite page, we have a couple of pictures of the Duke of again styles that he could possibly have looked like on during that time. So he basically was either clean shaven or had these sort of big mutton chops. So here's a sort of like a contemporary picture here of him being unshaven, and here having his mutton chops. And it's all kind of based around this style of jacket that he supposedly wore. But I must admit, I do actually quite like the fact that he's unshaven on the actual Perry's figure. And it's well known that he was, during the battle, he was calmly trotting around his troops, making himself known that he's there, just calmly trotting along and smoking his pipe to try and keep morale up. And as he's calmly trotting along, we have the chaos behind him of a hussar officer coming up, handing his adjutant an order. And yeah, really great figures. Let's go in a little bit closer and try and show you them. So here we have the hussar officer, painted in a sort of a general style of a high-ranking hussar officer. Probably could be. I suppose he could be like anything from a captain to a lieutenant colonel, I suppose. And of course, the guy, his adjutant, is probably a captain or a major himself. Although you can get lower ranked adjutants. It's probably not unheard of that you might get a lieutenant. Yeah, really nice. I really like the again the base built up with Das Putty. Now this is the one that actually came loose and I had to hot glue down. But it really does make a difference to the terrain on the base, that it's not flat and it's got like a natural sort of unevenness to it. I did have to mess around quite a bit to actually get these two figures actually syncing up. I had to, but again, luckily, if you catch Das clay when it's drying, and this particular figure here, the adjutant, is actually on one of the thicker parts of the base. I was actually able to carve into it and extend forward the place where I originally put his horse. So that he actually lined up better with the hussar officer that's handing him the order. So yeah, that's the Duke of Brunswick. And just on a side note here, horse colours. We went for chestnut horses for the adjutant and the hussar. And I did actually use. I picked up this colour orange brown. Which I think Leon mentioned in his horse painting video. I actually picked it up when I was doing my third light infantry battalion, thinking that I could perhaps use it as the orange, but it ended up being too browny. But at that point I also noticed that that colour is very, very close to the mixture of red leather and desert yellow that you use in the final highlight stage of how I paint chestnut horses. So basically one is done in the traditional style and one is done with using orange brown, and I think this one here is the one with the orange brown, and you can just tell it's just a slightly lighter than the one with the desert yellow, but it's a really nice colour to use with chestnut horses, so I'm really chuffed that I actually ended up picking that up. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Of course, just one last little thing. When I was doing Olferman, as I said, the Duke is on a black horse, and Olferman is on a white horse, and I kind of designed it so that you could basically put Olferman here as if they're sort of having a conversation, as a sort of a little extra Easter egg vignette that you could do with these two command figures. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and no doubt you'll be seeing another view of these chaps when I do the army overview, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to start it straight away. I might possibly. I think I've decided that I'm going to do it in two parts. I'll do like half the division, and then I'll complete it with the second division, and then in that same video I'll do kind of a full group shot that you can basically you know, get a good overview of all the troops put together. Now I'm probably not going to go and put them onto my battle map because it's not set up at the moment, and I really don't fancy trying to carry these guys in. I don't think I'll be that good at carrying them in without some sort of accident happening. So I'm probably going to have to do it on this painting desk, and I think if I do it in that 2 video style, it'll be a lot better. I want to try and do it so that you actually get a real good look at the units, and you know, maybe not as good as watching the individual videos, but at the same time a good enough standard that if you can't be bothered to go and watch the individual videos, you still get a really good look at that unit to satisfy your needs, so that you don't have to unless you really want to. So let's hope that all goes well, and like I say, I'll probably start doing it fairly soon, and it'll, like I say, probably be 2 parts. It kind of splits nicely into 2 parts, and shouldn't be too long. I mean, it's probably going to be longer than an average video, but then there's quite a bit to show. So yeah, so that's more or less the end. Just a big thank you to all my subscribers. I have, strangely enough, picked up another probably about another 7 or 8, bringing me up to 522, I think, when literally, not last week but the week before, I was on 413, after losing a whole bunch. But again, they're all sort of anonymous, so whether they're actually all proper subscribers or whether they're sort of fake subscribers, who knows, but hopefully you're here because you want to see my videos, and not that you want to post dodgy links. So until next time, I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.